Welcome back, fellow cosplayers, to Gadgets and Gizmos. I know it's still freezing cold out there, but it's about to get hot in here because today we're talking about the heat knife. This is one of those tools that's not fully necessary to your arsenal, but it will help in the long run, especially when you're making big props out of big foam. The 5.5-inch blade on this heat knife heats up to 975 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty hot, which is why I have my silicone mat here. When I have to rest it and it's still hot, I can just place it down and it doesn't burn anything. This heat knife has a built-in safety feature where you have to be holding the button for it actually to heat up and start. Although it will remain hot, so you still don't want to touch the blade ever. This baby is 130 watts hot. The reason it heats up so high is so you can make fast and easy cuts through any kind of foam or thermoplastic, and it goes from 3 3/4 inches to 5 7/16 inches. You know, they say it's not the size that matters. It also comes with a depth sled. This is useful when you want to make repetitive cuts of the same length. So you have a measurement gauge on the side to which you can put the measurement in, and then you can just cut multiple. It also has a dual blade for line and groove cutting. Groovy, baby. The way that this works is that you slide it on, and you actually take, there's little screws there, so you screw it on. I'm not going to do it right now, but then this part will slide up and down so that you can decide which measurements, and there's a little gauge on the side. So when you get it to the spot that you want it, then you just screw these little bolts in a little tighter. There's a dial on the front to determine how high you want the heat to go. I'm actually we'll test it. We'll test it out at number 1. And then I'll crank it all the way up. When it comes to cutting with this, you always want to have safety first. I've opened up my windows even though it's freezing cold outside, but we need ventilation, especially when it comes to dealing with this specific type of foam. Again, I'm not really sure what kind exactly it is. I think it says CE70 actually on there. But it melts and it really, it smells very toxic. So, safety first. Barely making a dent. Okay. There we go. Now we're gliding a little better. That's at 3. That's at the 3 gauge. So let's crank it all the way up now. Just glides. There's glides right through there. Naturally, it also cuts through like regular foam. This foam is not technically regular foam, this is LED foam, so you can actually hold a light behind it and it's a little translucent, so it'll come on through. I like better. Remember, when you're starting out, you always want to practice on scrap material until you get used to having the tool in your hand. Not every tool is the same. Yeah, some you need to be more direct and have a lot of pressure with it. Some more vibrate in your hands, so you have to learn how to steady yourself. So it is really important to practice on scrap material and get the hang of what you're doing before you move on to your actual project. You don't want to have all this work go to waste because you're shaking all around. So we're going to test the depth sled. You know, when I first originally got this, I thought that this was a holder for the heat knife because I didn't know about the automatic on and off. So I thought it was something you attach to a table and you know, just slide it in when you're done using it because it's still hot. And it helps get the same depth every time for precision. I've never tested this before, so let's check it out. Wow! That's such a precision cut! Look at that! I learn something new every day! It's so much better with the little precision thing on it. Of course it's better with a precision cut add-on. Duh. Thanks for joining me today, and if you liked it, give a follow from wherever you're watching. I'm Ray Gray. Happy crafting and stay inspired.